everybody, and welcome back to the I Don't Know Running podcast, where we share our experiences that make running fun and sometimes not so fun. I'm Lewis. I'm a self-admitted lazy ultra runner, and I need to get back out.
Have you not run since?
I haven't.
Oh my gosh.
Just been busy. Hasn't been because I don't want to.
And lazy.
Probably.
Okay. I'm Mitch. Hey, and it's Friday.
It is.
So, yeah, it's time for
It's
beverage.
time for a beverage and food after the podcast recording.
we're gonna cook some burgers after this.
No, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
It's so nice out too. Man, this week has been, we've been talking
hot.
about, yes, and we have been saying the last few weeks, like, I'm ready for heat. Holy smokes.
Bring it on.
It turned on, and I haven't been able to run.
I've been running in the morning at 4:30.
At 75 degrees.
80.
80.
A couple days this week, it was 80 degrees at 4:30 in the morning.
Wow.
The only thing I wear nothing but a pair of shorts. At this point, it's utilitarian. I don't care.
Yeah.
It's dark. Nobody can see me anyway.
Nobody's out. Yeah.
But when I get back and I carry nothing extra, I'm not even carrying a light right now because I can't handle anything on me.
And it gets light. It starts to get light around 5.
Yeah.
I mean, you start to see a little bit of.
My route, it's fine. You're running down the sidewalk and there's street lights and stuff like
Okay.
that at the beginning part. It's a little dark going through the little trail, but I'm not dodging traffic or anything like that.
Yeah.
And then by the time I'm on my way back, it's starting to get light.
Yep.
So, yeah, I don't take extra stuff then.
Don't need anything but
A pair of shorts and shoes.
2 handhelds of water.
Yeah. And when I get back, my socks are wet. Like my shoes are wet. I have to dry them out. So luckily I run in 2 pairs of shoes and flip-flop them because they get wet after that run. It's a mess.
I have been looking forward to this weather, but just the way, and this is where you get your runs in because you run in the morning.
Yeah.
I don't like to do that. I like to get them in the afternoons or kind of whenever. And I just have not been able to because of life, and that's what they say.
Yeah.
Inevitably, stuff happens in the afternoons and you don't get your runs in because of that.
Yeah, that's why I switched.
Yep.
Is just nothing. There's really nothing other than if I stay up late. But when I get up that early, I'm done by 9 o'clock. I'm ready to go to bed.
I am always amazed when I do get my run in the morning and I run, let's say the next day in the afternoon. It feels like 3 or 4 days between runs. When you get done in the morning, you know what I'm saying? And you don't run till the next day in the afternoon. It feels like forever till the next run. And it's just the next day.
Yeah. So with that, though, with getting up early last week, I was on vacation. We were camping.
Yeah.
I was rolling my butt out of bed. I have to get up with the dogs, but I wasn't getting out until like 11 sometimes because I didn't have to.
Oh, because you were on vacation.
But then it was too hot. So I'm like, this
too hot.
I got to get up earlier.
Last week wasn't that warm, though.
But
up there, it wasn't that warm.
But running in the sun is way different than running in.
Yeah, true. Yeah, direct heat, direct sunlight. Yeah, it was amazing. Even at, was it Charlevoix? Walking around, if you were in, it was in Charlevoix.
Mm-hmm.
If you were in the sun, it felt, I wouldn't say hot, but it felt very warm.
Yeah.
And as soon as you stepped into the shade, it was beautiful. I mean,
Dan said his hands were cold. He's like, "You want to touch my hands?" I'm like, "No, I don't want to touch
the run."
Yeah, during the run.
Mine were too. For the first probably 15, 16 miles.
Then he put his hand on me. I said, "Dan, no means no. I don't want your hand on me."
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But yeah, it was great. So vacation last week, we camped up at Young State Park, took the kayaks up there. I kayaked with the girls like every day. Tammy got there and we took both kayaks out. They're tandems.
Yeah.
So Lily and Celia are one and Tammy and I are the other. And they're all over the place. And Lily's complaining about Celia. She's not paddling, so it's like a switch. So Celia gets in my kayak and we head back. And I knew they were trying to race. And I want to rub that in again to Lily again.
Did you win?
We won. Lily, we won. And then she'll give Celia a hard time again and say Celia didn't paddle, so it doesn't matter. We still won.
Yeah. Yeah. And you went in a straighter line.
Well, I just think they didn't know how to steer.
Yeah. Were you in the back?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And did you get a response from your kayak company?
I did, and they wanted me to send them a video of it leaking.
Oh my goodness.
I just said, it's a $3 part. I'll just order it on Amazon. And that's what I did.
Gosh. Yeah. So I went up and joined Mitch at his campsite, and we were going to check out, we were kind of tossing around, checking out one of the kayaks. And that one side kept deflating as we were sitting there. And we tore it apart, and one of his valves was leaking. Cool. Those are cool kayaks, though. Those are really neat. They fold up really small. They're inflatables. Man, those are really neat. Those would be nice to have, especially for camping and stuff like that, where you need to be able to stow them away easily.
In like what you drive, you have an SUV.
Yeah.
You don't have to get a rack. You you can put it inside in the bag and then just pump it up when you get there.
Yeah.
And it's nice.
Yeah. Those looked like, nice kayaks. Bummer about the valve, but yeah. So let's talk. Let's talk Charlevoix.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're kind of in a race recap, but also excited for what's coming. What do you have coming up? Just Tahoe? Nothing until Tahoe?
Nothing until Tahoe. And I mean, we can talk about that after we talk about Charlevoix, but looking at the elevation chart, I was a little nervous. So,
that's true.
And it is. And I got to do 30 freaking miles in the mountains. So.
Well, let's talk about Charlevoix. Charlevoix, we have been talking about that. We have been talking about going up there, pacing that. It's a race that we've paced several times, at least 5.
Well, look at what we got for pacing 5 times. So that
I know this is pretty nice.
Look at that.
For those that are watching, I
looked it up, and it has been 5. It has just been 5 times for me that I've paced, and I've run at 11, paced at 5.
Yeah, I didn't look it up. I must be right around the same. I would guess.
Yeah, I would think, because I think you paced it before I did,
and then I missed a year. Yeah.
So I think you were a year. So we're probably even on the pacing. Yeah,
we got some nice jackets. How cool is that? We show up. We show up to pace. And Walter and Amy, who have ran it since we've been pacing, they took it over, I think, the same year that I started pacing.
Yeah, and I came in the year
next
after.
Year, yeah.
Yep.
Talked to the RD of Charlevoix and said, hey, look, we've got some people that have been coming for quite a while. It'd be nice to just say thank you and give them a little something. So Amy pulls out a box and says, all of those that have been pacing for 5 years or more, come on up. We got a jacket for you. How cool is that? That was really neat.
Well, that was my second where I wanted to just pick on my family more. I come home, or I come back to the campsite, and I showed Tammy this, and she's like, well, is that for me? I'm like, no, you didn't pace. I don't probably need any more sweatshirts or anything, but hey.
I know. I thought about that, actually.
It is nice, though.
It is. It's more of a winter hangout by the fire type of jacket.
It's perfect for, like, if you run, you meet up and run. Yeah. And you have to throw a sweatshirt on or something like that, and it just zips up in the front.
Yeah.
So you change your shirt and zip that up, and it's nice for that.
Yeah, it is. It's a nice jacket. Thank you, Walter and Amy, for doing that, for all of
and Charlevoix and the organization.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Charlevoix Marathon, for doing that, for all the pacers that have been doing, pacing for several years. And yeah, it was pretty cool. It was as far as the race goes, typical Charlevoix race. Turns out, you're wearing the shirt.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know when you had to sign up to get that, but turns out you got to sign up.
Lewis, what happened?
Turns out, we've been talking about Charlevoix for quite a few months.
I want to hear from some listeners what their experience is of you with that kind of stuff, though. Like when you forget things or
So, yeah. Well,
So-
I did run. I do have a medal.
and you had a bib.
I had a bib, but registration the day before, I had not signed up for the race.
And you were signed up, like you told them you'd pay how many months ago?
3 months ago, probably back in.
And they probably sent you a code.
Oh no, yeah, I don't know when it was. A couple months ago.
And they sent you a code and they said, hey, you should probably sign up.
Well, that's where I'm trying to figure out what happened. Walter reached out.
We all know what happened.
Well, what happened is I didn't sign up. That part is very true.
Are you looking at blame kind of thing?
No, not a blame thing, not at all. It's totally my fault. But the how it all went together is Walter reached out after Glass City and said, hey, saw you paced Glass City. Would you want to jump in on Charlevoix? We still have an opening. And I said, yeah, sure. 3:45 to 4 hours, love to. And he said, well, we have a 4 hour. And I said, well, 3:45 opens up. Glad to jump in there as well. But 4 hours is fine. I'll do that. We chit-chatted. I said, congrats on, they'd gotten engaged, him and Amy. And I said, congrats. And we just kind of chit-chatted for a little bit. And then that was it. Done. All right, thanks. See ya. And then the emails started coming. And I said,
sign up.
Well, no, I don't. That's the thing. I don't know if I saw an email to go and sign up with a code, but I was in the string of emails at that point. And I got a couple of emails and Amy reached out once. She texted.
I told you to sign up.
Well, no, that's again, no, totally on me. Totally. I'm not casting blame or anything like that. But
you're trying to look less guilty.
Nope, not at all.
Okay.
100% guilty. Totally my fault. But she reached out and she said, hey, I sent out an email last week just checking that you're all set. And I said, oh, shoot. Yeah, sorry, I'm out of town. Yes, I'm all set. Ready to. Well, I wonder if that email has like some info in it. Maybe. But I never saw the email. Like she did send it, but I never looked at it because I checked in with her. So it's like that. So yeah, I show up to registration the day before the race, 4:00 in the afternoon or whatever. Go up to registration. Yeah. Lewis Hayden.
Nope.
Nobody
by that.
How about a Devin Hayden? I'm like, nope, not my name. So apparently a Devin Hayden ran. They go, yeah, you're going to have to go down and talk to registration. So I said, okay. So I walked down and talked to Trevor, who was down there. Thank you, Trevor, for helping out. Fortunately, Trevor was sitting right next to Amy and Walter for pacing. And Amy sees me, Walter sees me, say, hi, how you guys doing? I said, well, or they asked me how I was doing. I said, well, I'm not sure. I don't know if I signed up. So she says, oh, hey, Trevor, so-and-so is not running. Can you either put him in for that, or if it's easier, just get him registered? And so it was super simple. I just had to fill out a registration form and get signed up. But yeah, I was, I guess in talking to Walter, I put that to bed. Like I was done. That's all. And I know that's not the case.
And in talking to them too, they had record numbers this year.
Yeah.
They actually filled up the race this year.
That's
They
cool.
were probably a couple people over what they really wanted.
And the RD said she knew that inevitably, if whatever, these are not the numbers, but if 2,000, and this is over, but if 2,000 people sign up, only 1,500 are going to show, or whatever,
Actually
600
show between 1,500 that many people are
she just
not going to show up. And then there's going to be a few people that actually don't finish too.
Yeah. So she knew that the numbers, even though it kind of oversold, that she would be fine within the permits and all that. But yeah, as it turned out, I did not sign up for the race. So that was a first. But fortunately it all worked out. I got signed up. I laughed and sent you guys a text and said, hey, I guess I didn't sign up for this.
Well, and then on the way there's the other part. So this will go to, what I have to deal with on a regular basis.
Oh, yeah.
So he thought he texted me, but he texted a different group message and said, "Hey, I'm going through Boyne City. You want me to pick anything up?"
Nothing. No response.
No response because
and I had texted prior to that and said, "Hey, on my way, ETA this." No response.
I wasn't on that thread.
No, that was a completely different thread.
And what's funny is whoever was on that other thread must be used to you sending random texts.
Yeah, it was Matt, and I had been messaging him earlier in the day. We were talking about golfing stuff. Imagine that. And I don't know how it happened, but you know how sometimes your phone, you pull it up, and even though you see the top, when you click, like something either moved or something, well,
it's the phone's fault.
It was the phone's fault.
Yeah.
So I texted Matt, and he's golfing in Ohio, and never heard back from him until I was in. I actually pulled into the campgrounds, and I pulled over, and I pulled up the text to find out what was going on, and I go, "Oh, Matt doesn't really care that I'm 3 hours out from you and going through Boyne City." So I snapshot it and sent it to you and said, "Hey, where are you guys at?" Sorry about that. I texted Matt instead of you. So, yeah, turns out you were there and on your way back. So I
got your bib.
Shot out and got registered for the race. Didn't get a shirt. Did not get a shirt. Turns out the day of.
That's too bad.
You don't get one.
Yeah.
So yeah. So
you don't need any more shirts anyway.
You know, the thing is, and this is where I thought about that. I have wore my Glass City shirt several times, and I'm happy that I got a shirt, because if I get a jacket, I never wear my jackets. I just don't. I
wear them for winter running.
Yeah, I should do that more often because they do keep you warm. That extra just layer. But I almost never wear them.
They're not the Glass City jackets are not attractive though anyway.
Just like normal. But the Glass City shirt this year knocked it out of the park. It's a really good one.
Yeah, those jackets are meant to run in because they're gaudy as hell.
They're meant to be like an under. They're not the outer layer.
Well,
they're meant to go under something.
They can be
so you don't see them.
This year's wasn't. It was at least black, I think, if I remember correctly. Yeah, but
yeah,
the year before that it was like blue and red, and then it was red and blue.
Yeah,
they're pretty bright.
Yeah, the Dave Spacing one is pretty nice.
Yeah, you don't wear that one either.
That one I've wore a couple of times. Yeah, but that one's hooded, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but yeah, Glass City this year.
So how did your day go? I wanted to jump to that. So we didn't talk about that, and Dan was asking me. I'm like, I'm glad we didn't talk about it because we can talk about it fresh today.
Yeah.
So
the race?
Yeah. So your pace, did you?
It was great.
Were you within a few seconds of your?
We were almost dead on, and then I realized the times that they have on the website or on the results page are gun time.
Oh.
So I don't know, because we were dead on our splits on our watch. So I don't know.
You were over then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was too. I was 4:30, 12 seconds.
Yeah, we were 4 hours and 5 seconds.
Okay.
Something like that.
Oh, you had to beat me.
Oh, actually, no, we were 4. We weren't even that. We were 4. I don't know. We were within a couple of seconds.
Okay.
Of the finish. What's odd is normally I feel like we're giving back a bunch at the end of that race, and this year that was not the case.
I had the same thing. We were, but I got close to the end, and then we realized
we had to sprint.
We did too. We had a 1/10 of a mile, and I'm like, Dan, we got 30 seconds, and it's up there. 20 seconds, 10 seconds, and we're picking it up. And I'm like, holy crap, we're not going to make it.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. Normally that race, always you have to almost walk in because I don't know what happens. My pacing partner was amazing though.
Just one other pacing partner?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Some people had 2 or 3 or whatever.
The heck was her name?
Oh, that's right. I met her at the beginning too. She was really nice.
Starts with a K.
Second time pacing.
Yeah.
A full.
shoot. Cursed. Shoot. Well, bummer. I can't remember her name, but she was really good. And she actually did math at the end really, really well. And I said, I should have trusted her because I said, no, I think we're good.
Well, I'm going to throw Dan on the bus a little bit. I know he enjoys it or not, but
yeah.
Dan doesn't do math. Dan's a lawyer, not a mathematician. So I think, no, but it wasn't his fault at all either though. But we're at the end. I'm like, oh crap. Like we gave too much time back. He was doing good later, like watching the sign and then because you get your pace chart on there and he was calling it off and then we'd cross the mile marker and then try to level set again. It's like, oh, we had a lot of time.
Same here.
And then it was like, I don't know, it was a 10th long, but I should have known that based on the turnaround.
Well, we marked it at the 1 mile
to
go where we were.
But I didn't see the mile marker 26. I only saw the mile marker 25. So I know I had 1.2 to 1.3.
They didn't have one this year, unfortunately. But yeah, we checked our going out.
We did too. At the turnaround, I was pretty tight. We were pretty tight on the turnaround.
We were almost dead on at the turnaround.
Yeah.
Almost dead on. And we started coming back and we were telling everybody, yeah, we're good to go. We're good to go. We've got 30 seconds in the bank. We're going to give it all back on the ski hill, next to the ski hill right there. And no worries, you'll get under 4 hours. The next thing you know, we're sprinting the last quarter. And we've got somebody that had been with us, and fortunately she stayed up. But I think she came in right at 4 hours. I don't know what happened. That is not the norm there.
Yeah.
Other than that, it was a great day. My hands were cold at the beginning.
It was chilly. Like it was, but like out of the sun and the trees.
Yeah.
It felt great.
Yeah. And this is something that my pacing partner, I will think of her name, said while we were running, and it dawned on me that it's actually a really shaded course.
Yeah. Except for that section between the half turnaround and the boardwalk. There's one section where it gets shaded, but that's all just slightly uphill and exposed.
Yeah.
That is the one section.
Yeah, there's a little bit that isn't, but a lot of that is. You're kind of in and out of it.
But that's the part that at the half turnaround is you come out of that park and you come across there. That is completely exposed.
Yeah.
And it's about a mile to 2 miles of you're in the sun.
Yep. But it wasn't even hot at that point.
It wasn't, but that's what's funny. And that's why I wanted to ask is what your group size, when we saw you at the turnaround, you still had a good sized group. How many of those people did you lose between that section?
Honestly, we lost, we lost a lot of them. I mean, we did lose a lot of them. We still had a fair amount up until about, I would say 20.
Yeah. And that's about where that it's a little past that. So the half turnaround.
The half turnaround. Yeah, I got you. Yes.
That's what I'm talking about. The park. As you come out of the park, and that's where the half turns around.
Yes.
And that's where typically we start losing people. Every group does.
Yeah. And we trickled down a little bit, but
you lost them in that hill. And it's not a hill. It's just
it's a gradual incline.
A gradual upgrade.
Yeah.
And then you hit that.
We were telling people, like, don't worry, give it back here. Do not worry. You can give back. We've got, at that point, I think we had like 45 seconds planning to give some back there and at that ski hill, and told them that. And we had, I would guess, 5 that stuck with us until the end and went ahead.
Because we had a decent sized group when we saw you at the turnaround.
There were, what's amazing is a lot of the groups were big groups this year. I was shocked.
We had a big group and they were quiet. Like they didn't talk. Like they were just running.
Oh yeah. Same here.
They were just running behind us.
Yeah. We didn't have a bunch of talkers this year.
Not at all.
I talked with one guy from Grand Rapids for a couple minutes just because he was from Grand Rapids. And other than that, it was
quiet. We had a bunch of first timers though. That part was cool too.
Kirsten.
I knew it was going to bug you.
Yeah, I had to look it up. Wayne.
Don't try.
Yeah, I wanted to try. But she was really good at the end doing the math because she knew. She's like 1.3. We need to pick it up. I was like, no, this race always, you gotta give it back. And
that's what I was thinking. I was the same thing was going through my mind as we were coming in through town, through the houses.
Yeah.
But yeah, because you're not in town, you're just going through a neighborhood.
Yeah.
But
yeah, we were up to this. We were already at the ski hill. We were already over the ski hill.
Yeah.
When we were going, ooh, where are we at here?
And that was my favorite. We came across 3 friends that were running. And I was like, well, whose stupid idea was this?
That's
and they
funny.
all point at one guy. Yeah.
That's awesome.
And then I'm just giving him crap because that's what I like to do. It's like, well, you guys racing at the end? He's like, if I race, I'm falling down. Like it's going to be a problem.
Yeah. We had one girl with us and
Kirsten?
Kirsten. She said, she's like, yeah, all right. Now's your time. Go. And the girl, she said it too, that had been running with us. She's like, this is my go. I have no more go. This is it. And she had her boyfriend, her husband, I don't know which, but somebody that was cheering for her, he had ran the half and he had came back and he's like, yep, you got this, great job. And you should take off now. And she told him then, even it was like 2 miles to go. She's like, there is no more go. This is it. This is my go. Hang it on. So, and she did good. It was awesome too, because she came up, I wonder if it was her husband, but anyway, I think she had several, maybe some kids. In my mind, I can't remember the picture that I took when she stopped for family photos.
Okay. Could have been nieces and nephews.
Could have been. So family, I'll just say, or friends. She actually stopped and it was like 1.5 miles.
Like, let's go.
Take a picture with them. And I was like, oh my gosh, I hope she can get it back, because that's it. But I was super happy that she took the time to do that. What a memory.
There's 2 sides to that. Because I've run in with my kids when they were little kids before.
Yeah.
It's so cool. It does. It costs you time, but you always remember that.
Yes. And so I was happy and she did catch us and she did pass us. So that was really cool. She did rock solid job. And like I said, there were probably at least a handful that took off away from us from the firehouse, from the fire station forward to the finish. There were, I don't know, half a dozen or so that.
Did you run into the sprinkler there?
Oh yeah. Felt so good. That was the biggest industrial sprinkler I've ever seen. That was a big one. But yeah, man, Charlevoix Marathon, we've talked about this marathon several times. It is, if you are in the area, highly recommend it.
It's about 3 hours from Grand Rapids.
Yep, 3 hours north.
And lodging can be difficult.
Lodging is the only obstacle. Yep, that is the only obstacle. Now, you can find places in Petoskey.
Yeah, and like we camp at Young State Park. Half that park is closed this year, though, so there wasn't as much open. But we do that. There's other places to stay, and Young State Park is only 20 minutes away, so it's not a far drive. But
yeah, and if you want like a hotel, you'll have to go up to Petoskey. That's what we've done before. And there are a couple of hotels even in between Petoskey and Charlevoix. But Petoskey has quite a few. It's not super cheap. You're still going to spend a little bit of money, but man, the Charlevoix Marathon is just a fun marathon. And on average, we've probably ran it, I don't know, 6-8 times.
Well, that was my 11th time running. 11th.
How many times can you remember? I'll bet you once it was raining.
I can't remember. I'd have to look at, like, I try to put notes by each race and say, certain things so I can go back and remember. But
I think I've ran it 7 or 8 times, maybe 8.
My best time there is probably in the 3:30 range.
Oh, yeah. That's good.
And then, Yeah.
But it's almost always nice weather. It's
It
almost always
is.
like what we had today.
It's a beautiful, you have to look at it like this. It might not be a PR course just because of the weather, because it's warm.
It can get
be
warm.
But it's a nice time to be up there.
A nice time to be up there. It's you can have a good day where the weather will be cool. Most times it's going to probably be
It's going to get warm by
a little bit warm by the end.
But it starts at 6 a.m.
Yeah. So you're done. If you're 3, you're 9, 4, you're done by 10. So it doesn't get that warm by then. Yeah. And you are in the shade a lot for the marathon. Mm-hmm. And it's a nice out and back course. You have a lot of stimulation along that course. You would think, it's a smaller marathon and it's along a road, so you're not going to have a lot of crowd support, but it does. It's amazing. Every couple miles, you have a bunch of people because they're leapfrogging you.
I think that was my 4th marathon. So
4th marathon.
Ever.
Oh, ever.
So it was early on. It was a new race when I ran it the first time, but I ran, my first one was Grand Rapids. I thought, this is stupid. I'm never doing this again. And I signed up for Bayshore. I'm like, I did pretty good. Hey, let's do Sunburst.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, let's do Charlevoix. I'm like, all right. So, yeah.
Yeah, I would highly recommend it from the race itself, the race course, and we have talked about this race several times. The size of the race is great. The crowd support is great because they leapfrog you typically, and it seems to. Do you think they had more aid stations this year?
No, it's about the same.
I felt like there were more, like a couple more.
My only critique, if they're listening, they didn't have a lot of stuff at the finish line. That was my only experience. Like
this year seemed a little light.
Yeah, I wanted some chocolate milk.
Didn't even have chocolate milk. Like that is, man, bring chocolate milk for the finish. That is one we want.
I bought chocolate milk at the store in town.
Did you?
And the only way I could buy it was in a gallon.
Oh.
I didn't finish the gallon.
No? That's a lot of milk. Yeah, that is a bummer.
Because I had my heart set on it. I'm like, I really want it.
I did too. And then I thought, well, surely Walter and Amy will bring it. They couldn't. Everything was off in there.
Oh, yeah.
So there was no way to keep it cold.
Cooler.
Yeah.
They just need to prepare better.
Yeah, I suppose. But
because
they've done that in the past too.
Yeah.
Brought
they have, and I drank like a half a gallon of chocolate milk there.
Heck yeah. That chocolate milk is such a good.
It just tastes so
good. It does. When you get done.
And ice cream. If they could do ice cream.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
it's funny because you say that, and I sit here, our day-to-day was grandkids and grandkids and my dad and his wife doing some things. And we went out to eat afterwards to Culver's and got ice cream afterwards. And I did clean up because some of the grandkids didn't eat everything. Theirs. So I finished some of theirs, a chicken tender, some cheese curds, too many cheese curds, and then
mix them in your ice cream.
No, but I did get a shake to go because I felt like I wanted a shake from there.
One that didn't have floaties in it.
Yeah, true. Yes. Yeah.
Do you ever dip your fries in your shake?
No.
Oh, it's so good.
No, it doesn't sound good.
You try it.
I know. There are things that, people have said try, and it's like, wow, that's surprisingly good. Those cheese curds are stupid good.
Oh, yeah. I
can eat too many of those.
Bound up for a week after eating them things.
Man. So anyway, we did that. And then I had that ice cream, and I'm sitting here stuffed. So yeah, you say ice cream afterwards. I'm like, I just don't even want anything right now. But yeah, probably in the moment, yes. Ice cream afterwards would be great. Anything afterwards. It was a little light. I mean, I love the race. Like I said, if we're gonna be a little bit picky.
Well, if we're gonna be honest, and if we're gonna be honest, I mean, I think it's okay. That's our experience. I went up,
Yes.
So
it would be nice to have a little something more.
Love the race. I love the race. If I've run it 11 times.
And what's cool about the finish, I'll say this to add to the finish atmosphere. It's a really cool atmosphere there.
Yeah.
Because you finish and you go across the bridge over into the little park right there, and it's awesome. And because it's a little bit smaller race, 600-ish people, it fits.
I think it's more. I think it was like
660. It was 660, but I think
total. Between both races.
Yeah.
Or 5K and 10K too. I don't know.
Well, I don't know about that.
We'll have to get some numbers on that at some point.
Walter was saying, so it looks like, well, I don't know. Looks like, no, that's the marathon.
That was a marathon
600
only.
people in the marathon.
That's what I mean. It was decent.
Half marathon was 732. 10K was 300. And the 5K was 350, 340.
Pretty good turnout.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
really
good
turnout. Things are filling up these days. Like if you want to sign up for a race, you got to get after it.
Yeah. So it is near 2,000, like 1,700.
But it was funny. We had Lily on last week and she saw the shirt and she's like, oh, should I sign up for the 10K? I'm like, you said your foot's hurting.
Oh.
It's up to you. But I'm like, and then I got back and they still hadn't left. So I'm like, hey, look at that medal. It's got pink in it. Yeah, I really wish I would have done it. I'm like, well, I got a really cool medal with pink in it. You don't. So
that is a cool medal.
That's for Lily again.
That is a cool medal. They do a good job up there. Has the bridge on it.
Yeah. They've had it to where it moves, but then the bridge fell off it.
Oh, really? I think I might have that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, they do a good job with it. Hey, I would highly recommend it. It's a fun race. I think we have said that before. Just everything about it, really good. Go check it out. Yeah, I think that's all on that.
But what do we have coming up next week? You got to start packing. You got to start packing.
I do. I leave on Tuesday for Western States. So this airs this weekend.
Yeah. And you'll be leaving Tuesday after this comes out.
Yes. And so I would highly recommend anybody listening to this, tune in to the Western States live starting Saturday.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. It starts
Saturday morning, 5 a.m. Pacific time.
Yeah. So that means, what is there, 3 hour
6,
difference?
7, 8 o'clock here. Yep. 3 hours.
So, yeah. So you can track Brian Steinberg, who you're going to be crewing and pacing.
Yep. And they will be live. They will have a live coverage. So Aravipa, who does all the Arizona races, they're the ones, whoever the actual live feed is, they have a company behind that now, but that does that. They're going to be providing coverage for that race. And they do a really good job. And it's going to be fun to follow that race. So you can tune in on YouTube, search Western States 100, tune in to the live coverage of it, and you can follow along, the race.
And Jim Walmsley's back this year. So if you know anything about us, this is the crap that we really like. Like probably our favorite race, even though I've never run it.
But it's something special about it.
I just love being there. Like I have a big, huge fear of missing out, but I can't do everything.
Can't do everything every year.
Yeah.
And so this is one of those years.
Kind of a bummer.
Yeah. But it's good. You're making choices that are for the best.
So that's it. Like you're getting ready to do that. And then I'm leaving on the 17th to go to Tahoe to crew Laura.
Yeah. You'll be out there in the same place, basically.
Basically the same place.
Just
so we're going to be
later.
We're going to be on the Nevada side.
No, 2 weeks later. Yeah. You're on the Nevada side, but you're going to be coming all the way around it. It circles Lake Tahoe.
It doesn't. It goes up and around. I was looking at I took some time.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah. So I was looking at it today and I was looking at the elevation chart and I'm like, crap.
Does it go up over 8,000?
95.
Okay.
I don't think I'll hit 95 myself. She will.
Okay.
I pick her up at mile 70 and then run her in from there. And run.
Yeah.
Whatever that looks like.
We'll see. Yeah. Yeah. Because that's 200?
But the last 100.
Oh, they have a Tahoe too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But the last 12 miles are downhill.
Oh, there you go.
So I just got to suffer for the first.
And suffer. She'll probably pick it up those last 12.
I know. She didn't kick my butt.
Yeah.
She's not a wimp.
No, she is not. Yeah, so we are excited for our upcoming few weeks here. But yeah, I would highly recommend tuning into Western States. We have a special episode that's going to drop
that day.
Sunday.
It'll
be our normal release, but it's all about Western States. We actually have Brian joining us. That's going to be a fun episode. And then it's all Western States next week.
And then we'll probably have to get together and do a recap on that too.
Yes. We talked about doing that. 100%. We are going to come back. We'll record. We'll have Brian join us for that as well. Talk about how it went and everything, the experience, because it is just a special race.
And I'm putting this on Lewis. He's going to carry the GoPro.
I still have to get that around, but yeah. But Brian has his as well.
Yeah, you have one not as new as his.
Yours is still not as new at all. Yeah,
doesn't make you want to spend some more money.
No, because I bought that one with the intention of doing a bunch of that stuff and didn't. So,
okay.
So no, I am 100% fine with what I have with that. It's fine because I think it's 4K as well, so it'll do.
The difference with his, he doesn't need a gimbal anymore. Could you use his gimbal?
I have the same gimbal he does.
Oh, okay.
For mine. The thing is, mine, as long as you don't do 4K, if you do 1080, it's not as good as his is at image stabilization, but mine has it as well. The image stabilization in these new ones is insane. It's so good. So mine is a little bit clunky and wonky, and it's a little jittery, but at any rate, I'm going to use mine.
Try to get some footage.
Is bringing some of his. He's got one as well, and then Brian obviously has his. So we're going to be GoPro'd to the gills and getting all kinds of race footage and coverage. And
here's the thing, though, you got to hit record.
You do have to hit that record button and hear that beep beep beep. Tells you it's started.
Just making sure.
Yeah. Oh wait, I didn't hit record.
That would suck.
No, that all things Western States next week. A recap the following. Super excited. It's going to be a great time. Yeah.
And then I'm out. I'll be out for two and a half weeks.
Yeah. So
I can do a phone in maybe.
Maybe. That might be fun. See where you guys are at, how all that goes. But yeah, I'm excited. We have a fun summer, and then I'm gonna start training. I'm gonna start training proper for a fall 50.
Oh yeah, you know what you should do is that one in South Dakota with me as a training run.
When is that?
August 25.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. I gotta look at it. I gotta figure it out.
Yeah, it was a cheap flight when I booked it, so I don't know if it's still as cheap, but I don't have to not running a car.
Yeah, there's a good chance because I would like to do a 50-miler hard. So we'll see. But yeah, be sure to check us out on Facebook. Be sure to check us out on YouTube. Leave comments. Do all that. Send us an email. idon'tknowrunning@gmail.com. Yeah, with that, it's going to wrap up this week's episode of the I Don't Know Running podcast. Be sure to tune in next time as we share more about what we just don't know.
Until then, happy running.